All right, welcome back to this video. We've got a polynomial p with 4 roots. This is from the HMMT, by the way, I should say. And it's question 7, so it's pretty deep inside the test. It's like mostly there. So it's a pretty challenging question, but let's try it anyway. We've got 4 roots. These are the roots. The product of the roots is 1. To be honest, this is pretty useless because we can figure that out just by multiplying them, right? And p of 1 is 1. This is a little bit more useful. They're asking us to find p of 0. All right, so let's see how we can write this. We know that we can write p of x as, first of all, they didn't say x, but I'm just going to pick x. Okay, hopefully you don't mind. We're going to write it like this. We know that these are the roots, so it's going to be x minus 1/4, x minus 1/2, x minus 2, and x minus 4. Now, the reason I put an a over here is because we can have any coefficient, right? Like we just need these roots to be true. That doesn't mean that this has to be a 1. It can be anything else, because 1/4 will still make this 0 and make the whole thing 0. So will 1/2, 2, and 4. The product of the roots is 1. That also doesn't change because that's given regardless of the value of a. Okay, now p of 1 is equal to 1. This probably will help us because these will all become some number and we can figure out a. And then once you figure out a, pretty easy to just figure out what p of 0 will be, because again, this will become some constant, right? So, all right, let's see. Now, do we even need to figure out a? That's a real question, because, well, let's just plug it in and see. P of 1 is equal to a times. Now, 1 minus 1/4 is 3/4. Just be a little careful with the algebra. This is going to be 1/2. This is going to be 1 minus 2, so that's -1. This is 1 minus 4, so -3. Luckily for us, the negatives don't bother us anymore. And this becomes just 9 over 8. So a times 9 over 8 is equal to 1. Now, when we put in p of 0, what are we going to get? P of 0 is just going to be a times, and so we don't even need to figure out a, to be honest. It's just going to be a times something. And what is that something going to be? It's going to be -1/4, -1/8, and then -2 and -4. Wow, watch that. -1/4 and -4 cancel out, -1/8 and -2 cancel out, and so we're left with a. Okay, I lied. We do need to find a, but that's it. That's literally all we have to do, and we've got this handy little equation here. So a is just equal to 8/9. 8/9. This is question 7, guys. Question 7, we've solved it in 2.5 minutes. Okay, I think for that, you deserve 3 cheers, and I deserve about 3 subscriptions. So just feel free to subscribe below. Hopefully use a few other accounts as well. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. It's really not difficult. All we did, the only math we used here is the fact that, I don't know what it's called, the factor theorem. I think this is called the factor theorem. Very, very basic, right? I mean, we've all learned this. Not substitution, just the factor theorem. Right, so that's all it takes. Sometimes these challenging questions are actually pretty simple to solve, especially if you know the right approach. If you look at HMMT's actual answer key, I think they did it in like 1 or 2 lines. Okay, so that's how fast some of these questions can be done. So don't give up. It's a pretty short video. I'll give you a few lessons here and there. So here are some lessons to take away from here. Right, don't give up. Don't give up, because these sorts of easy questions do come up. I was taking an AIME 10 once, and an actual exam and practice exams. I've managed to solve questions like question 24 or question 24. Yeah, never question 25. Question 24 in like under a minute. Okay, that sort of stuff does happen. And then sometimes I struggle on like question 8 or question 5, even like the first 5 questions sometimes. Right, so don't give up. Keep trying. Right, and last but not least is keep practicing. Right, you've got to keep practicing. The more you do this, the more patterns you'll recognize. The faster you'll get at solving stuff and actually doing the computations, the better you'll get at catching your mistakes. The better you'll get at just being able to persevere and think of other solutions and being creative. All of that stuff comes, but it'll be even easier to come by if you subscribe to my channel. So I don't want to plug a third time, so I'll end it off now. But thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.